Hello, hello. Welcome to the Mindset with Mary podcast. If you're ready to manifest a life full of abundance, wealth, and happiness, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Mary Jo Rember, life and mindset coach, here to help you thrive and reach your goals without sacrificing all the things you love. My mission is to show you that you already have everything it takes to manifest a life you desire. Within these episodes, we'll uncover what's holding you back, dissolve old patterns, and help you create habits built on self-trust and authenticity. Each week, I'll be dropping practical mindset tips, manifestation strategies, energetic tools, and of course, a whole lot of magic to help you create massive transformation. So go ahead, grab your favorite drink, get cozy, and let's dive in. Okay, hello and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been a minute since I've recorded. I needed a bit of a break, but I am back. Guess who's back? Back again. Today we are going to talk about 6 ways to help you start attracting money with ease and with flow. And the reason why I'm bringing this topic to you is because so often in our society, we have been taught that when it comes to making money, we need to earn our worth to be able to earn more, right? We have to earn it. We have to work harder. We have to struggle. We've really been praised so much to just work hard and struggle. And if you don't work hard and struggle, then you're not worthy of earning money. So I want to teach you this, but also remind you through these practices that these practices are here because we are all inherently worthy of attracting more money in our life. And it doesn't mean it's not going to take work per se, but it's going to be fun. It doesn't have to be the struggle and the suffering that we have been taught or praised on. So, in today's episode, we're going to dive into the 6 ways to attract money. Before we dive in, though, I just want to remind you that the Money Manifestation membership has recently changed its name to the Wealth Expansion Portal. I've kind of been changing it back and forth as I'm in this first step phase, just trying to figure out what makes more sense. At first, I was like, well, we want to be in alignment with SEO so that, people can search money manifestation and find it. But at the same time, there was a deeper part within me that was like, that doesn't feel aligned for me. And it kept coming back to the wealth expansion portal because that's exactly what it is. It's there to help guide you from the hustle and the bustle to finally stepping into your money confidence and being able to attract money without the hustle and the bustle. And that is something that I am I really feel that so many people need in the online business world, in their careers, just in general. We spend so much time following the rules of what everyone else says we should do, but when we start to tune in and we stop trying to force, money becomes effortless. It becomes something that's just inherently magnetic to us, which it is. It's just that we have so many layers of the inner dialect that we have around money, the stories that we've been told, as well as just the way our nervous system processes money in general. If we've been taught that money is something that's stressful or that it's, maybe in your early 20s, and this was my story, particularly in my 20s, I never checked my bank account. And so every time I went to the grocery store or anywhere in general, I would I would clench my butt cheeks and just pray and hope that maybe as I slide my card that there would be enough money. To the point where I started getting credit cards so I could buy clothes and things like that because I didn't even want to look. I just wanted to buy things and not have to worry about where the money was coming from because I was in college and I was putting most of my money into paying for school. And so it was and then also paying for rent and all of the things. And so it was I never did get to buy the fun things that I got as I was growing up, my parents would buy me clothes and all those things. And as I became a college student, I was like, ah, dang, like I don't get those things anymore. And instead of being financially responsible, I just turned my head the other way. And because of that, my nervous system took on so much anxiety and stress around spending money. And even like the idea of looking at my bank account became stressful. And so that's something that I've had to train my brain and my body is actually a safe thing. And the more that I do that, the more money I actually attract into my life. So I'm excited to go through these 6 ways to help you attract money and really just help remind you that you are so worthy and so deserving. And if you're wanting to go deeper, I would love to invite you into the Wealth Expansion Portal. That link is in the show notes. This is a community membership where you're going to get access to my 5-step process that's going to help you go from feeling anxiety, stress in your old money stories, and really helping you get to the other side where you become a magnet to attracting money, no matter where you are in your business, in your career, or whatever it may be. Then we also have an expansion vault filled with subconscious reprogramming, as well as money rituals and other things that are really going to help start to make your body feel like it's actually normal to receive more money versus subconsciously pushing it away. So you're going to start to train your brain and body that receiving money is actually safe. And if you're like, what does that even mean? What do you mean money isn't safe? It's just that our brain doesn't know the difference between perceived threats and actual physical dangers. And so inside of this vault, you're going to get these reprogramming tools that's going to help your body start to feel more comfortable. And that's going to allow your subconscious mind to start taking on new mindsets and actually believe that money is easy, that money is fun, and that you can actually make money doing whatever. And of course, when it comes to manifestation, we're required to actually take action. It's just that when we start embodying the mindset and teaching ourselves that it's safe, then it's so much easier to attract the money and open our minds up to the opportunities that are easier. And then we can take that inspired action because we've opened our mind up. We're not stressed around money anymore. And when we're stressed, we're not going to see those opportunities. So we release that and then we see the opportunities. We can take that inspired action and then we reach our goals so much quicker. Okay, if you're wanting to join, that link is in the show notes. Okay, let's dive in. So the very first way you can start to attract money quicker and with less effort is visualization. Your brain sees in pictures, so when you visualize, it thinks that it's true. It sees it as its truth. And if you visualize consistently, your brain starts to make an ingrained memory. It's almost as if like this visualization is something that you're remembering over and over and over again. And with that, it's almost like your brain starts to feel more comfortable and safe in it. And so then it's like, okay, I've already done this. It's safe. It's one, like we can do this. It's good. And your brain starts to process this information and these pictures and starts to connect dots to help you see the pathway. So sometimes when you visualize, you're going to find the exact steps versus go and find the exact steps and then try to visualize. That might cause some cognitive dissonance where your brain's going to be like, you know what? Nope, I don't want to see it that way. But if you just allow yourself, hey, brain, like we're just going to step into being a little kid again. We're going to visualize this. Like it's just make believe, no worries. We visualize it. The more we do it consistently, your brain connects the dots and figures it out for you. So that's where the effortless piece comes in, is it's going to connect the dots, guide you along the way, give you those intuitive nudges and say, hey, if this is, we've already achieved this and here's the steps to get there. So visualization is an amazing tool that can absolutely help you manifest anything that you want. Okay, so then the second thing that is really going to help you attract money with less effort is gratitude. Gratitude is abundance in action. Abundance is really just a feeling. It's not tangible. It's just a feeling that you have that there is so much to offer around us, right? So I look outside out my window and I can see like so many trees. Like I can't even count all the trees. Just thinking that, like, and knowing there's an abundance of trees and rocks and dirt and like all of the things outside, it's just a feeling. And then when I feel that, that's when I can attract money so much easier. That's when I'm going to see the things. And a lot of times to get yourself into that energy, gratitude is going to be key. Um, Manifestation requires us to feel the feeling of having before we actually receive it. Um, and that might seem like super counterintuitive, but it's the universe's way, it's God's way of asking you to take a moment to stop and smell the roses, to slow down, instead of just going, oh my gosh, I only have so many followers on Instagram, like stopping and going, actually, quite a bit. And there's a lot of people who are constantly engaging with me and allowing yourself to feel that gratitude for what's already there. It's the universe can then go, oh, okay, you're you're appreciating the things that are coming your way. If you're like stuck in manifesting something and you find yourself in like nothing's working, like the people that are following me on Instagram, I don't even think that they're like paying attention to what I'm doing. And I'm speaking from like actual experience. I've experienced this before. And in that energy, things stayed stagnant. And I didn't feel good in my business. It wasn't fun because I was not giving the people who were there supporting me the credit that they deserved or gratitude and appreciation that they deserved. And even though it's not something I was like, oh my gosh, like you guys suck, and I didn't say it out loud, of course, the energy's there. People can sense it, they can feel it. It comes out in the work that I do and the things that when I'm promoting or something like that, because instead of focusing on the person I want to connect with, I'm focused on them and how they're like they're not my key audience, right? It's like my family's watching my Instagram and I'm like, they're not going to buy from me. But what about just appreciating the fact that they are there and maybe I am setting an example for them and the things that I'm teaching them will help them. In fact, my aunt this weekend was telling me like how much better in life she feels because she started to learn how to set boundaries. And she's like, it's actually something that I've learned from you because you share so much about it on Instagram in your little stories. And she's like, I finally started just giving it a chance and setting boundaries. And it's been super helpful. And now I have a better relationship with this person, and this person. And I'm not carrying the energy of everyone else. So sometimes we're not giving the universe credit for what it's already giving to us. Think about it from like the perspective of a parent. Like if you give your child a toy and they're like, I don't like this, and they just throw it to the side, it's not going to make you want to buy them a new one. Like it's like, okay. Like even if it wasn't exactly the one that they wanted, it would be okay if they were like, Mom, thank you so much. That was so kind of you to think of me and to get me this new toy. That's how the universe is working too. When you're in that energy of gratitude and appreciation, you're going to be in alignment with abundance as well. And that abundance is going to start coming to you. The next one is number 3 is regulating your nerves around money, meaning to stop making it a habit to stress around money. So instead, when the stress comes up, teaching your body that it's safe. And again, like I mentioned earlier, like, what do we mean when it's not safe? Because the brain and body may have learned to go into fight or flight or freeze when spending money, when managing your money, when getting on your bank account and moving things around, or seeing if you have enough money to go on a vacation because all your friends are going and maybe you don't have enough. You have started to maybe train your brain that when it comes to money, there's never enough. And this is really, again, this is something that I help my clients in the membership with, because when you feel that your body is not gonna know like the difference between the perceived threat and the physical threat. And so it's just going to tense up and freeze, or it's going to want to run away from the money, or it's just basically going to say, like, nope, I don't want to deal with it. And so even though you can consciously think, like, this is what I want, your subconscious and your body, your nervous system is going to be acting in the opposite. So, and you might not even be aware of it, because that's the thing about the subconscious mind, is that oftentimes the things that are going in the background, they're just running on habit and you're not even aware of it. You know how sometimes you're brushing your teeth and you get done and you don't even remember, or you're driving to work and you're like, I don't even remember how I got here. It's because your mind has made it a habit. And so it's just like you're operating without even thinking, which can sometimes be scary, because that's where we get ourselves stuck in the circumstance of there's not enoughness and literally just staying there. And so that's why I teach my clients this, because when you can start to regulate your nervous system and your body feels safe, it triggers to the brain that things are good. You're no longer in fight, flight, or freeze. And that allows you to then rewire your mindset. And from there, you can start to teach yourself so much quicker, that instead of thinking that there's like a limit of money, and you, like, if you are using, or if you earn money that you're taking away from other people, or just whatever the story is that you have, that money is hard to earn, that you have to struggle to earn money, that you have to do X, Y, and Z, and that money doesn't get to be fun, that whatever it is for you, you're able to change that so much quicker, because your mind's not going to be functioning when your body is literally shutting down in fight, flight, or freeze. So again, if you're feeling called, go check out the link in the show notes. Come join us in the wealth expansion portal, so that you can go from that stress around money to actually magnetizing it and making receiving an abundance of money the new norm. Okay, so moving on to number 4, banishing negative, jealous thoughts around money. This is a tricky one, because sometimes, again, going back to that not even being aware of it, we might not even be aware of it. And something our human brain likes to do is, when we are jealous, it likes to trick you into thinking that you're not jealous by pretending that it doesn't actually like those things, because your brain would rather be right than wrong. And so from that perspective of trying to make yourself correct and right, and again, this is like, if you are like, oh yeah, I do that, please give yourself some compassion. This is like our brain is wired this way. It's totally normal. We're good. We just have to start training it differently. So, um, if you're recognizing that, it's totally normal, but it will start to collect data to prove that it's right, even though proving that it's right is just collecting more data that's going to make it harder for you to earn money effortlessly, because you just want to be right about money being hard, or whatever it may be, or that, that you're jealous of somebody who has more money than you. And when you've spent years um, envying people with more money, you literally train your brain to think money is icky. So if you consciously want more, but subconsciously your body and mind are like, no way, I truly, truly recommend doing like a releasing or banishing rituals. This is like another one of those things that we do within the membership. We're going to do a lot of banishing, releasing rituals that are going to help you release those negative things, help your body feel more safe. So that's something you can also come join us in the membership. But just to kind of give you a quick little idea of what that would even look like, it's really just maybe like writing on a piece of paper, um, like something in Dear Universe, if there's any jealousy within my subconscious mind, please allow it to come to surface so that I can release it and let it go. And then maybe even just letting those thoughts come up over the week, writing it down on a piece of paper, and then as those thoughts come up and you start to become aware of it, because if you tell your mind to bring it to your awareness, it will do that. Once it's at your awareness, pay attention and recognize it might feel uncomfortable, but this is where you do the releasing ritual and you write them all down. You do that ritual, you do some deep breathing, and then you get to rip it up and just let it go and let your mind start to dissolve those thoughts. Okay, number 5, moving on. Getting comfortable with failure and learning from it. This is a big one. If you want to attract more money into your life, you need to become comfortable with failure. And not just failure in terms of like, I'm just going to fail, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. No biggie. If it doesn't work, figuring out what needs to shift. How can you, make one little tiny adjustment that gets you pointed in the right direction. So I wrote down here, have you ever heard the term failure gold? And the reason I wrote this down is because it means that you get good at using failure to create success. You learn what works and what doesn't, and then you adjust. So one of my favorite mentors and teachers, Stacey Bayman, is I think the person who coined this term. I have no idea. I've never heard it from anyone else. I've Googled it before and it's always her name that comes up. But failure gold is what it's called. It's when failure plus wisdom and action literally become success. The failure turns into gold. And if you think of it like digging for gold and all you see is silver and you're like, this is actually silver's kind of gone up these days. Anyways, you're finding things that you don't want. And so you're just like, you know what, we're done. We're not going to look here. We're going to go look somewhere else. But you never like took the moment to evaluate before you moved on. Sometimes you might miss some of these opportunities that are literally like right in front of your face, smacking you, and you're not even seeing them because you're just like, oh, like that didn't work out. I guess that I'm just gonna have to give up. And I really am speaking from my own struggles with failure in the past, because as a society, we really have been taught that failure is not such a good thing. And with that being said, we've been wired for millions of years to think that failure meant death. That if you didn't land dinner, or, you didn't, maybe you ate a poisonous plant or whatever, you would die. And so our brain literally has linked over millions of years, has evolved to link failure to physical danger. And so now in our modern society, we just have to start to readjust that and retrain our brains, that that's not actually the case, that it's okay that if we fail. And it's key to teach ourselves this, because if not, then you're just going to stay stuck in the, okay, well, I failed. That's dangerous. And even though you might consciously think, no, it's not dangerous, but I don't want to deal with it, your brain will start collecting data of like, oh, that person's judging me, that person's doing this, I'm going to lose my job, even though I'm really not going to lose my job. Whatever it may be, I'm going to lose clients, or, it's going to literally start to find and collect that data. So we want to just train it so that it's finding and collecting data that proves to you that money is in abundance, that money is easily attracted to us, that we are the kind of person that magnetizes money from us. And we're also the kind of person who doesn't let failure stop us from reaching our goals. So getting comfortable with failure is going to be key. Training your brain that it is okay. And as long as you learn from your failure, from there, you can attract anything. All right, number 6, building a strong network of baddies. When you surround yourself with others who are like-minded, who are also working towards financial freedom, there's a co-creative energy that is truly magnetic. When we are around these kinds of people, our language and the way we speak about money can calibrate to that energy. So if you're spending time with people who are constantly like, this is expensive, I don't have enough money, da 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 da, like, I don't like doing this anymore because the cost has gone so much like upward, and you might find that in your family, and that's going to be something that you just have to maybe get up and walk away from, or not engage yourself in anymore, or maybe set the example by, you know, choosing how you speak in those situations. But when you start spending time with people who are working on their money mindset, with people who are also looking to create that financial freedom and wealth, they are going, because here's the thing, wealthy people understand that money is in abundance. They're not looking at money from the perspective of there's not enough, because they know how to attract money. And so when you start hanging out with people who are in either working their way there, or you're hanging out with people who are already there, your nervous system is going to calibrate and feel more comfortable in conversations where you're no longer saying there's not enough money, there's da 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 da. You're having conversations about things that actually propel you forward and help you increase your money mindset, help you increase your money energetics, and help you start to attract money so much more effortlessly. Um, okay, what else did I write down here? It's not easy to expand our wealth when it doesn't feel safe in the body, but being around people who have normalized wealth will remind your body it's safe. This is where your identity starts to shift. That collective energy amplifies the intention that you have set to bring more wealth into your life. And from there, we are able to collapse time through the recalibration. Because when you see money in abundance, you're not thinking that it's going to take you a god awful long time to reach your goals and dreams. In fact, you're not thinking of time, and you're not like, oh my gosh, I gotta make this much money by this date. You're just thinking like, okay, like I have a goal, here's my goal, and we're just gonna work towards that. And if I don't reach it, then I've worked on it in the process. Going back to step number 5, if you don't reach it, you see that failure as an opportunity to recalibrate, to adjust, to evaluate, to ask yourself how to get back on track. Or maybe allow yourself to take a break, because maybe you've been in a hustle energy where you get to say, okay, well, maybe it didn't work because I literally thought about my business every single day for 30 days and I didn't give myself one single break. And so my brain is not literally working anymore. So, okay. The last one was the building a strong network of wealthy baddies. Okay, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here with me. If this episode landed for you, be sure to follow, subscribe, so that you can be notified when the next episode comes along. Also, quick reminder and invitation, if you're feeling called to attract more financial wealth without sacrificing all the things you love, check out the link in the show notes and sign up for the Wealth Expansion Portal. There's already a bunch of content up, and we still have the founders rate going as of right now. So sign up before that goes away and get your booty in there, and let's attract some more money. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.